bark, a little bit of texture. Now this is why I use a little piece down here to catch all the spray glue, is you take your toothpicks and you roll them in the wasted glue that's stuck down here, and then take your sisal, sprinkle it on there, and then you can make little bushes, little sapling trees, eh? And you plant a couple of those along with the other ones, and looks really good. People go, oh wow, where'd you get those, you know? But so those are the toothpick trees. Now if you're making something like an N scale, okay, and that's pretty much a nice tall spruce tree right there in itself, okay? Paint that with your primer color and a little bit of black, a little bit of flocking on it. Perfect little miniature tree. I mean, holy, what they would charge you to buy these things, you would get, you know, 10 of them for, you know, some ridiculous friggin' price. It's always the labor in the fact that nobody tells you how to do it, okay? So, again, glue just down from the top. I'm making a little N scale tree here just to show you, okay? Voila! Hard to see. Anyways, those you stick in beside your other trees, and it's, I mean, you can have a forest pretty quick, okay? It doesn't take long to make up 100 or so of these trees, you know, and you have a nice forest. Now if you're doing a tree just by itself, let me make some more room here so you can see. I use this stuff a lot for my bases. It's called hardboard. It comes in 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch. I usually use the 1/8 of an inch stuff because it's just easier to work with, okay? But it's not like a cardboard, and it's not like the foam board, okay? It's like the stuff on the back of the TV or something, the old TVs or radios. I'd say it's kind of a press board, okay? And the other thing I do with this stuff is, you know, little waste pieces, you know, cut them off. Taper the edge, okay, down to the ground. It's kind of hard to see on here, but anyways, along the edges of these, okay, because it's an 1/8 of an inch square. I'll trim those off, you know, so that it's just, you know, it's random. It's not so obvious that it's a piece of square friggin' wood there. You can use your wood rasp, put it down, and just wood rasp one edge off like this, or where the heck is that other thing? Here it is. These are really handy. Called wood shavers. It's kind of like a cheese grater on a handle. Okay? You use those things a lot for, you know, stuff like this too. You can shape up the edge. So anyways, make your piece so that it's all tapered around the edge. It'll look nicer. Mold that. Put a hole in it, drill a hole in it. In this case I'm going to use a screwdriver because I don't want to fire up my drill. Punch a hole in it. Shave off the bottom piece where it's broken. Use your knife, or that was a chisel that I just used. Then your tree that you make will fit in that hole. Okay, you glue it in the hole. This one's a little bigger. And we use a smaller tree. Glue it in the hole. After it's dry, cut the bottom piece off. You know, file that down or shave it down with something, sharp knife and that. Now you've got nice little movable trees that'll move around. You can put a little bit of plaster on here. I use that, it's called Sculptamold. It's basically a cellulose plaster Paris type stuff. You know, if you imagine taking Kleenex or toilet tissue and thrashing it up so it's just the fibers and then mixing it with plaster Paris, that's what Sculptamold is. Or I think it's that, not plaster Paris, I think they use sort of a hydrocal or something in it. But anyways, trees. What's the other type of tree that you can make? Oh, these are cool. Palm trees. Okay. For those I use that raffle up paper. Raffle paper. It's a, you get it in a craft store, okay? It's a long, ropey type stuff of coiled paper. Take a piece of wire, stick it in the ground, and then just wrap it with that paper, you know, dip it a little bit in white glue and wrap it around and paint it. Okay, and then these pieces are bits of that plasticky floral stuff that you know, actually they come on the bottom of flowers, and I cut the leaf portions off all the time and throw the flowers away, and I use those for, you know, bushes like this, yeah, there's not much to these. Basically just wrap them with fine tissue Raphael paper. Tissue paper would work really good too. A hint on when you're making trees and that, look at a book or look at pictures or ask somebody who's, you know, where the trees are from. For instance, like these ones kind of look good, but after I discovered that palm trees never grow like this. They never have a you know, sort of like a dual curve. They're always just a single curve towards the light. Okay, so although, you know, these ones kind of look cool, they don't look right to somebody who's been there because of this stupid double curve that I put in them, eh? So they're more, and it's always better to do this while you're, okay, so they always got just one curve to the palm trees, eh? That's why I said, you know, you guys should go look at the trees in your neighborhood and try copying those first. Okay, those work good. What's this? Another type of tree. Okay, here, I shall be right back. Is use sunflower roots. What? In the fall, when I'm cleaning up the yard and that, I always keep the roots off the, you know, my sunflowers and stuff. And when you're making little trees and that, let these dry out, and these little branches and that, those make really good trees. Okay, especially if you're doing a water scene or something, or like I said, swamp scene. These are just perfect dead little deciduous type looking trees. Okay, they again are fragile, but then hey, I mean, it's not as if little kids are spending, you know, $60–70 on Warhammer gaming train anyways. Okay, really good for model railroads. And if I'm doing a creek where I'm using that, you know, that clear polymer types, water effect type stuff, I'll lay a bunch of these in the bottom of the creek and then pour the polymer over top of it, and they look just like dead trees in the water. Really nice effect, really nice effect. Those are just sunflower roots. Yeah, that's pretty much it for doing trees. Like I said, when you're making bigger ones of these, like let's say, you know, a garden railroad, indoor garden railroad, what I'll do is I'll take the trunk first and I'll drill holes in it. Then I'll take my wire branches that I've made, okay, and I'll stick them in the holes, let those dry, and those become the big, you know, bottom branches of the tree. Now, let's say you're making, you know, like a big sequoia or something like that. They have lots of white space, and, you know, a branch, big branches, long ponderosa pines, you know, big long branch sticking out of the bottom of it. Coat that with your flex paste or an acrylic polymer or white glue. You can take your white glue and mix it with plaster of Paris and spread that over top of it too, eh? And then that'll build up a lot thicker and you won't see the wire, twisted wire so much. And that's it for trees. Hope that was informative for you. Hope you don't have to replay it too many times to catch what I'm saying, because I talk fast. I'm also kind of nervous. You know, hey, I'm in front of a whole bunch of people. Anyways, once you play around with these, you let's say Christmas time is coming up. Here's one that I've taken. I've drilled a hole up the bottom of my trunk. I made a fatter trunk. I used a paintbrush on in this case. I drilled a hole up, and this is fiber optics that I've stolen off one of those cheap toys. It was I don't know, some sort of carousel light type thingy. I can't remember what it was. It was $5. Anyways, I took it home, smashed it, and just took out all the copper, or all the fiber optic wires. Okay, so now what I've done is I've drilled a hole, one out here, made my tree with my furnace filter stuff, sprayed it, and then I poke these up so that